Go ahead.
You had addressed that the black communities can expand and they can get better if we get a Republican in these communities. But how can we bring this and address this to our people if in the Bush administration we allowed the Republicans to run our nation and he couldn't even hold our nation down, So how can we expect our communities to trust the Republican to hold down our own?
I never in my life have said trust a politician.
No, not even trust. Wait a minute, I think you understand my question though. Like,
I said you need a two-party system. You need to make the Democrats learn.
That's not what you said. You said bring a Republican into it. If we get the Democrats out and bring a Republican.
Well, that's the other party.
How can we make that happen?
Well, you need two parties. You need to
have a choice.
You will gain power if the Democrats think you will actually vote for a Republican. That's just the way politics works. And if you have a figure like Allen West, I mean, if you can find a black Republican or a white Republican who will really fight your fight, then you should support them. Don't allow the Democratic Party to own you. The Democratic Party owns the black community, and that's why it can walk all over it. That's a problem. I'm just, actually, look, you're a student, I'm just trying to get you to think.
No, I respect
Instead, I understand this, but if you read the whole statement I made, it was that black people should embrace America, because you're like, you came here in 1607. I don't know.
How can we embrace? Yes, you're saying black people should embrace America, but how can we embrace America when we have black people? Most of our black people are struggling. We can go to a black person's neighborhood and see the ghetto, and we can go to a white person's neighborhood and see how it's better 90%. But how can we embrace that if we're struggling? Like, we're struggling. There's pressure. How do we embrace that? How do we get happy about that?
49% of the black community is in the middle class. There are lots of rich black Americans and very powerful black Americans. There are whole cities run by black people. If there's a problem, I'll tell you, the Philadelphia schools, they're terrible, but they're run by black people. So, it's a more complex problem. But you begin by identifying as Americans and not feeling, it's like America is your enemy. That's not helpful to you.
Embrace our enemy. Like, if you're saying America's our enemy, and you just said we should embrace America, how are we embracing our enemy?
No, you say America's our enemy, and that is self-defeating. I'd love to talk to you over.
What's your game plan? Like, we're addressing the problems. Do you have an action plan? Like, to fix these problems?
Sure. The first thing is, you should, we're going to stop with this because we have too many. I got to take one more question and then you can talk to me afterwards. What you need to do is, the black children and Hispanic children, in this state it's mainly Hispanic children, but black children as well, are being oppressed by the teacher unions and the school system. So you have to take away their power. And the way to do it would be to voucherize the entire educational system. Right up, in my view, for the university level. Instead of the education dollars that the government collects going to the bureaucracies that are not serving the community, they should go directly to the parents. And the parents will then be able to find a school. So every parent in the state who has a child should get $15,000 per child, or whatever. I think that's probably the per pupil cost. Then you could create schools that would teach your children. And the only people proposing this that I know of are Republicans. But